In this video, we are going to compare these three athletes: John Jewett, who got the 11th place, and Rafael Brandao, who got the 8th place, and this year winner Samson dauda. So he won his first Mr. Olympia in 2024 recently, and we are going to compare these three athletes. In front double biceps, John Jewett is looking a little soft, I would say, and Rafael Brandao is looking good. But look at Samson dauda's physique, his midsection. He has very aesthetic physique right now. You can see the V taper, the narrow waistline, and the quads, separated quads, conditioned quads, and the perfect V taper, conditioned arms, overall lats, serratus interior. Everything is just looking conditioned, and this pose is looking good from Samsung dauda. And Rafael, you can see his lats. His lats are not that big. Midsection is good, but he needs to work more on his lats and overall conditioning. Because he's lacking in conditioning, because you can see the conditioning in Hardy Chupin, Lat Spread, and Samsung dauda. They are too conditioned on stage, and Rafael definitely has to put more muscle mass on lats, and quads are good, but he needs to work on conditioning, and arms are also looking fine from Rafael. And if we talk about John Jewett, you can see his midsection. He has to work on his midsection because the waist is wide. You can see waist should be narrow, and quads are looking good. Quads are big. Still needs to improve in conditioning. So Samsung dauda won this pose, and second I would say Rafael, and third John Jewett. Let's talk about front lat spread, and you can see the improvements of Samsung dauda from last 2 years, because in last 2 years we can see the midsection was totally flat, but this year he has made the improvements, and midsection is looking quite better from last 2 years, and lats are good, shoulders, overall his body is looking good from quads to shoulders, chest, arms, everything is just conditioned. Just he needs to more work on his midsection. And if you talk about John Jewett, he's looking good in this pose, except the midsection again looking a little flat, and Rafael is looking good. You can see the chest, shoulders, arms are very conditioned, lats are looking good, and V taper is good. Quads are hard but still looking a little soft. So overall he needs to work on size and conditioning as well, and John Jewett needs to improve so much from midsection, and quads are good, but still he has to be more conditioned in legs. Let's talk about any side chest. So in this pose you can see the John Jewett, he's looking impressive. His quads are big, and you can see the glutes are better in condition than Samsung dauda, because Samsung dauda's glutes are not that conditioned. Hamstrings are good, quads are good, but in glute section even Rafael is looking good from glutes, and quads, hamstrings are good from Rafael Brandao. But Rafael's midsection is looking soft in this pose, and you can see the arms, shoulders, they are carrying quite nice conditioning. And in Samsung dauda's physique, his upper body is just phenomenal. You can see the quads and upper body, midsection, shoulders, chest, everything is just conditioned in this pose except his glutes, and overall conditioning is looking good. But look at John Jewett's glutes, hamstrings, quads, they are impressive in this pose, you can see, and shoulders, arms, chest is impressive from John Jewett. But the problem is his midsection. His midsection is not that impressive. So the reason why he got 11th place is his overall back double biceps pose and midsection. So he needs to work on his overall back and midsection. If we talk about back lat spread, you can see John Jewett's back is not that dense and not that wide, and you can see the Samsung dauda's back. He has put lots of muscle mass from last year, and you can see the difference, the tense middle traps, the overall width of lats is just impressive. And if we talk about Rafael's back is not very dense, I would say, and V taper is good, but his legs are good. Rafael's glutes and hamstrings are looking good, and Samsung dauda's glutes are not that impressive again like last 2 years, but hamstrings, he has improved his hamstrings. You can see the size and conditioning at the same time. And John Jewett, glutes and hamstrings. So if we talk about only glutes and hamstrings, John Jewett can easily beat both of these two. But overall body, you can see the back is not that impressive from John Jewett. So but glutes and hamstrings are very good in size and conditions, very conditioning glutes and hamstrings. And Again, I would give this pose to Samson dauda because of his dense back and sharp hamstrings. So Rafael needs to work more on his back. He needs to put more muscle mass. Back should be more dense. And against John Jeweet, as I said, he needs to work more on. He needs to put more muscle mass on his back, and only in that case he'll become in top 5 or top 10. So let's talk about back double biceps. So again, we can see the V taper from Samsung dauda. He's just phenomenal in this pose. You can see the hamstrings, very nice calves. You can see the calves are very conditioned, and Rafael is looking good from this pose because his body is looking very aesthetic. You can see the glutes, hamstrings, V taper. The waist is very tiny, and John Jeweet's back, as I said, he needs to work. He needs to put more muscle mass on his back. But in this pose, you can see the glutes and hamstrings of John Jeweet. He's looking very impressive, and Rafael's hamstrings and glutes are also impressive, but glutes are not that conditioned. So let's see what improvements he is going to make in 2025. This pose again I'll give to Samsung dauda, and second I'll give this to John Jeweet, and third Rafael brandao. So most muscular, you can see John Jeweet is looking big. You can see the quads, shoulders, chest, arms are looking impressive in this pose. Midsection is not that impressive. You can't see the conditioning, the separation in abs, the depth in abs, and at the same time Samsung dauda is carrying a very big size with conditioning, especially his quads. You can see the midsection, arms, chest, everything is just conditioned. So he also beat Hardy Chopin in finals in this pose, and you can see the Rafael Brandao's pose. He's looking also conditioned, the shoulders, the arms. He's very impressive in this pose. So I will give this pose to again Samsung dauda according to aesthetics, the conditioning, the overall size. And second, I'll give this to Rafael brandao. Although John Jeweet's size is good, but still Rafael is looking more conditioned in this pose. So according to me, as Samsung dauda winning this comparison, and second I'll give this to Rafael brandao, and third I will give this to John Jeweet.